When Diane Stewart was found unresponsive in her garden, her death seemed natural, but it wasn't.
Right, okay, tell me exactly what's happened.
My wife's had a fit, and I think she's in the garden. She's in the garden.
Right, you need to slow down, okay, because...
She's in the garden. She's unconscious.
Okay. Are you with the patient now?
I'm just indoors at the moment.
Can you see her from where you are?
Yeah.
How old is she, please?
She's 47.
Is she awake?
No, she's not awake.
Is she breathing? Is she breathing?
No, I don't think so, no.
Right, you need to go and check on her, sir, for me, please.
I'm right beside her now.
Right, is she breathing?
No, sir, no.
She's not breathing?
Don't think so.
Right, well, check her for me.
Yeah.
Is she breathing?
I don't think so. I've turned her to try and put her in recovery position, but I can't do it. She's just flopped back. I think she's had a fit.
You think she's had a fit?
Well, I think so. She does have epilepsy.
Right, okay, just bear with me a moment.
There's a doctor who lives opposite. Can I go and get him?
No, just bear with me a moment. Just bear with me, I'm just going to talk to a colleague.
Do I do anything? What do I do?
Okay, she had more than one fit in a row?
She hasn't had a fit for a long, long time, about 20 years.
Has she had more than one fit in a row?
When, today?
Yes.
No, I wasn't there when it happened. I just found her. I don't know.
Is she pregnant?
No.
Is she diabetic?
No.
Is she an epileptic or ever had a fit before?
Yes. She's on...
Has the twitching stopped yet?
Yes, she's not moving at all.
Okay, is she breathing at the moment?
As I said, I don't think so, but I don't know. She's frothing at the nose. Shall I go and get the doctor?
No, you need to listen to me, sir, okay? We need to try and help her until the help gets there, all right?
Okay. The doctor's just opposite. He's just opposite the
house.
Sir,
please listen to me.
Okay,
we need to help her.
Sorry.
I am organising help for you now. Stay on the line. I'll tell you exactly what to do next. Are you right by her now?
I'm right beside her, yeah.
Listen carefully. You need to lay her flat on her back on the ground and remove any pillows.
There's no pillows and she is already flat. I've already done that.
Right, kneel next to her and look in her mouth for food or vomit.
Well, I've wiped some of that away already. There was vomit, yeah.
Just do what I'm telling you,
okay,
sir, okay?
Yeah.
Is there anything in the mouth?
Well, it looks like a lot sick, yeah.
Pardon?
Yeah, maybe look quite a bit. Well,
right, you need to calm yourself down so we can help her. Is there anything in the mouth?
I don't think so.
Okay, now place your hand on her forehead, your other hand under her neck, then tilt the head back. Put your ear next to her mouth.
Hold on, I've got to put the phone down. Hold on. What have I got to do? Say that again, I'm sorry. Oh, yeah.
Place your hand on her forehead.
Yeah.
Your other hand under her neck.
Yeah.
Then tilt the head back.
Right.
Put your ear next to her mouth and tell me if you can feel or hear any breathing.
No, I can't.
You can't? Have you tilted your head back?
Hold on.
Are you doing that now, sir?
Yeah. No, I can't, no.
You can't feel or hear any breathing?
No.
Okay, listen carefully and I'll tell you how to do resuscitation. Place the heel of your hand on the breastbone in the centre of her chest. Right between the nipples. Put your other hand on top of that hand.
Yeah.
Push down firmly 2 inches with only the heel of your lower hand touching the chest.
Yeah.
Now listen carefully. You need to pump the chest hard and fast at least twice per second. We're going to do this 600 times or until help can take over. Let the chest come all the way up between pumps.
Can I just say something? They can't get in at the moment. All the doors are locked.
Right, you need to start this, sir, okay?
Okay, yeah, I'm doing it.
Count out loud so that I can count with you.
So I press twice and then release. Press twice, release. Is that right?
Right, pump the chest hard and fast at least twice per second.
Right,
We're going to do this 600 times or until help can take over.
Okay, doing it.
You need to count out loud, sir, so that I can hear you.
Paramedics arrived to find her unconscious, while her husband, Ian Stewart, suggested she'd suffered a sudden seizure. Sadly, Diane showed no signs of life.
And I could see that Diane was lying on her back and they were doing CPR, and my heart stopped, sort of. I saw them do a thumbs down and shaking their heads in answer to questions of the arriving paramedics.
The medical examiner accepted Ian's explanation of an unexpected seizure, commonly known as SUDEP. No further investigation was undertaken, and at Ian's request, Diane was cremated. In the weeks and months that followed, a few of those closest to her struggled to make sense of the story. Although family and friends knew the 47-year-old had a long-standing seizure disorder, her condition had been well controlled by medication. Questions lingered. Had she been experiencing unusual health problems? Did she have any new triggers for her condition? Why had Ian pushed for cremation so quickly? Still, without evidence to challenge the official ruling, those doubts remained unsolved. Ian, Meanwhile, carried on with his life. About a year after Diane's death, he joined an online bereavement group where he met Helen Bailey, a successful children's author who had lost her husband to accidental drowning in 2011. The two bonded over their shared grief, and their relationship quickly deepened. Helen had built a successful publishing career, and money was never a concern. But over time, she rewrote her will, naming Ian as the main beneficiary of her multi-million-pound estate. Friends found the change sudden, but Helen described Ian as a caring partner who understood her pain better than most.
Life is good again. I never thought I'd say it. I never believed it, but it's good again.
By 2016, they were living together in a spacious home in Royston, Hertfordshire. She confided in a few people about her chronic fatigue, unsure why her energy had depleted so drastically. Helen didn't know Ian had been secretly drugging her food and drinks with sleeping pills. He seemed intent on controlling both her life and her finances. Then, one afternoon, she disappeared without warning.
Please, how can I help?
Hello there. My partner has been missing since Monday and not contacted anyone. Said she was going away. Hasn't gone ended up where she said she was going. So we just decided we should report it.
Oh, okay, it hasn't been reported already?
No, it hasn't. No.
Okay, right. Has she been missing since Monday?
Yeah.
Okay, bear with me. So, right, bear with me, so I have to put these details down.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
Bear with me, I'm putting these details down. So she's been missing since Monday. Okay. What's your partner's name?
Helen Bailey.
Helen Bailey. Is that B-A-Y-L-E-Y?
No, B-A-I-L-E-Y.
And what's her date of birth?
Oh, crikey. God, she phoned me there. 22nd. Right, just let me double check. 1 second. Oh, God.
Problem.
I'm sorry, I'm just double checking. As you asked that, it just went straight out my head.
No problem.
22nd of August, 1964.
54, yeah, 1954.
64.
64, my apologies.
No, my fault. Sorry, not just my brain just went. Sorry.
So she's gone away, was that for work business, sorry?
No, she's self-employed, so she works from home. No, she left a note. She said in the note something like, I need space and time alone. I'm going to Broadstairs. Please don't contact me in any way. But in Broadstairs, we've got a cottage down there, but people have been down there with neighbours, and she's not there. Hasn't been there either.
So, Broadstairs, where is Broadstairs?
On near Margate.
Margate? Yeah.
Oh, can I just take a call? Because someone's just phoned me.
Oh, sorry, no problem.
Sorry, that's a friend, and she was just asking. Sorry.
No problem. So Broadstairs, that's the properties in Margate, was that?
No, sorry, no, it's a little cottage we got down there. It's near Margate.
Margate. Okay. And it says, please do not contact me, yeah?
I'm sorry, you're very quiet. What did you say?
Sorry, apologies. It says, please do not contact me as well on the note.
Oh, yes, please don't contact me in any way.
Okay. And nothing like a deadline when she'd be back or when you could contact her, nothing like that at all?
No, this has never happened before, no. And her phone is just dead. It's not, well, I say dead, it just doesn't ring. It just goes straight to answer machine.
And someone's been to the cottage and
someone's been to the cottage, yeah. Her brother went there.
Did it look like anyone had been in there?
No, someone went in and it doesn't like anyone's been in there.
Did Helen go in a vehicle?
No, she didn't. She left her car here. She did take her dog with her. She's got a little Dachshund. But she could get there by train or she could possibly take a taxi. She does do that sort of thing.
And the dog was a Dachshund?
Yeah.
Okay, so I just need to go through some questions with you. If I could go through them. Can I take your name, please?
Ian Stewart. Stewart.
So, bear with me, I'll just put the details that we know at this time.
Sorry, did you ask me a question then?
Oh, no, sorry, I just said I'll just go through these details. I've already got like her name and birthday. We've got those, so I'll just pop those in quickly. So, when was the last time you saw her?
Monday afternoon before, about quarter to 3, 20 to 3.
And did she say anything to you unusual, or?
No, nothing before I went out, no. She just asked me to run an errand for her after I had been to the doctor's.
Okay. And she said nothing to you then, was she leaving the premises at that time?
No, I left her here.
Oh, you left her, okay. So you left at about quarter to 3 or so, and then what time did you return?
Oh, must have been probably just before 5. I didn't actually really notice.
Yes, no problem. And that's when you saw the note?
I didn't see it straight away. She'd put it on the desk. I didn't see it straight away, no.
What sort of time did you realise the note had been left?
Oh, I don't, about 5:15, something like that.
Yeah, so a few minutes later, yeah.
Yeah, not very long. No, not very long, sorry, yeah.
And was that note a bit of a shock? Were you expecting it at all?
No, I wasn't. Well, yes, it was a shock. She has talked about it, but it was still a shock. He has talked about wanting space because things just haven't been going well for her recently, or for us.
Okay, so she mentioned wanting space, but she's never actually acted on it. She's not left before.
She's never done anything like this before, no.
And so at this time, we have no idea where Helen is.
No one, no. And I've contacted, there's 4 people who basically, who she would contact, her brother, 2 best friends, and they've not heard from her. They've assured me they've not heard from her, and they promised me they would say.
And so you've spoken to 2 of her brothers and 2 of her friends?
No, I've spoken to her, sorry, I didn't say that very well. I've spoken to her brother John, and 2 of her friends, 3 of her friends, effectively, but one was indirect. I haven't spoken to her directly, but someone else has. So there's 3 girlfriends, or 3 women, and her brother. And they're the only people who know at the moment. Oh, and the neighbours down at Broadstairs sort of have an inkling that we're all concerned. But we haven't said it, we haven't told her parents, or my parents, or my sons.
Oh, okay, so your parents and Helen's parents aren't aware of this at the moment?
Not at the moment, no. Although her brother has spoken to her parents, and he's sure she's not there.
This may sound silly, but she's definitely not at home, no?
No, her brother asked that. I've literally checked everywhere. We have got quite a large house, but I've literally checked everywhere.
And she's never been missing before, no?
Not since I've known her 5 years, but no, and her brother says no.
Does she have anything, any sort of medical or psychological issues at all?
Well, she's menopausal. That's the only medical issue she's got.
Yeah.
But she did have well, I don't like to use the word breakdown. So her brother said it wasn't a breakdown, but she did see she did see a psychologist, and she was in group therapy. Her friend thinks it was probably about 10 years ago, maybe longer. She hasn't said much about that to me. She did go through that, yeah. So yes, the answer is to that. Yeah.
That was about 10 years ago.
Well, I think so, yeah. That's what I've just told you is all I knew.
Yeah.
All I really know, and that's all her friend really knows as well.
No problem, thank you. Does she take any sort of medication that she critically knows?
No, she's not. I've been wanting her to go to the doctor because of why, but she won't go to the doctor. The only medicine she takes is what she buys over the internet. Things like herbal stuff and that sort of stuff.
Oh, okay, no problem.
Yeah, nothing, no medical, nothing like diabetes.
And again, sorry to repeat this, but she's not attempted before, no?
No, everyone's sure she hasn't. No.
Okay. And can she interact safely with other people? Would she be happy going up to someone asking for directions?
Oh yes, she's she's an author. She's a children's author and she's written books. Yeah, she's very good talking to people.
And is she ever likely to feel any sort of abuse that you know of?
No, she's a very strong person. It's very hard to abuse Helen. She come back to you very strongly. She did. She lost her husband. Well, about just over 5 years ago. And that's how I met her, because I lost my partner and we met through the bereavement.
And,
I don't know if that's relevant, but I just thought you should better tell you.
Oh, yeah, I can pop that down. Helps. May seem a bit random, but is she likely to be involved or subjected to crime at all?
She said it was. I'm sorry, I heard the word crime, but I didn't know.
Is she likely to be involved with or subjected to crime?
No.
No. And could you describe her dog for me, if that's all right?
It's a miniature dachshund. It's brown. It's not white. It's a smooth coat miniature dachshund. So it's pretty self-explanatory.
Is it male or female?
It's male.
Does it wear a collar or anything?
Yes, it does. It wears a yellow collar. Well, it does when we're out. Well, it doesn't in the house, but it does when we're out. Yeah.
Then again, pop some more details down. So bear with me if I go quiet.
Okay.
Okay. So just need to go through her sort of physical appearance now, if that's all right. So what's her height initially?
Oh, I'm going to guess here. She has told me, but she's probably 5'10", just something like that. Quite tall.
And what sort of build? Is she slim?
Slim. That's easy.
No. Her hair colour and style?
It's on the shoulder, long. She won't like me saying this. It's black going grey, grey streaky. Not grey streaky. It's going grey. So it's black. It's black, but she's let it natural. So it's got grey highlights in, if you like. Great. Probably the best way to describe it.
And her eye
colour. Oh my God! How do you forget these things? I don't know at the moment. Sorry, it's just gone out of my head. Sorry, God, that's terrible.
And her sort of...
pale, I guess I would say. Pale.
Oh, yeah, is that sort of white pale, yeah?
Yeah, white pale, yeah. God, how can I not remember her eye colour? That's terrible.
And what sort of clothes would she typically wear?
What sort of clothes?
Yeah.
Well, typically, jeans and a shirt. Jeans typically just day to day.
Does she usually have a handbag with her?
Well, she's got quite a few. I don't know. I would normally yes, but I don't particularly know which one she's taken. If she's taken one.
No problem. Brilliant. And can I please take down her contact number if that's okay?
Of course it is. I'm going to have to look it up because it's something I can never remember. It's just in my phone, if you know what I mean.
Yes, no problem. Currently been turned off all this time.
Well, that's what we think, yeah. Or it's out of service, out of range, or...
Brilliant. Okay, so I've got that information. Leave that with us. What I will do now is I will send this across to our officers, and what we'll do is make some sort of inquiries about her, see if we know if it might be with police and hospitals, etc. We'll cover all those bases. If you have any further information, please do give us a call, and what we'll do is give you a call if we have any further or we need any further information, all right?
Okay, so what do I do? Is there anything else to be done now? I mean...
I say, no, not at this time. If I give you the reference number for this call, it's at 475.
475?
Yep, and that's of today's date, which is the 4th.
So if I want to ring you, what do I ring 101? That's how I got through to you. Is that the right way to come?
Yeah, if you call us on 101, and just say reference number 475 of the 15th of the 4th, and we can find this log and we know exactly what's going on.
Okay.
Alrighty. Would you mind as well if I just take the whole address of the cottage, if that's alright?
The whole address of the cottage? Wow.
Yeah, you've got it.
Crikey. I'm not sure if I can give you that. I just go there. I'm going to have to look that up. I really don't know. I know it's Raglan Place. I don't know what number it. I just give you a number. I'm sorry, I'll have to look that up. I really will. I just go there. Oh, no, I don't know. I don't know without looking that up somewhere.
That's no problem.
It's just somewhere I just go, and I don't think I've ever... I must have the address. I've got the address somewhere, but I just don't know what it is. Sorry, no.
That's no problem at all. I'll let our officers know at this time we don't have the cottage address. But if you do find out, just give us a call.
Yeah, no, I've got it, obviously, but it's not something I've never had to write there or anything. So, yeah, okay.
All right, Ian. So leave that with us for the time being, and we'll be in contact with you shortly, okay?
So when you say, because a brother's one and 2 friends, when you say shortly, what are we talking about? A day, 2 days?
It's all dependent. I couldn't say. It depends if we know where Helen is, if we have any further leads, etc. It just all depends on what information we have.
Okay.
All right. What's your best contact number?
Did I give you my mobile number?
I don't believe you have. I've got Helen's.
So my mobile number is the best contact number.
Brilliant. So leave that with that, and again, we'll be in contact as soon as we can be. All right.
So it's just a question of waiting. There's nothing else you do at this stage.
Like I say, we'll just do our initial inquiries, and yeah, it's just a case of waiting for you.
Okay. Just because I've got to talk to a brother and 2 friends. So yeah.
And again, if you give them the reference number, if they have any further information, they can always give us a call and we can add to it. All right.
Do they have to, just because they are? Well, the brother's in London, another friend's in London, another one's down in Chichester, I think.
Oh, right.
Yeah, how do they get through to Hertfordshire?
I say it will take them through to their home county, but they can always ask to be transferred to Hertfordshire.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
No problem at all. Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
In the beginning, law enforcement approached Helen's disappearance as a standard missing person case. Ian suggested she had left a note saying she needed space. He remained collected when questioned, asserting that she was likely safe and would return soon. But her close friends insisted something felt off. Helen was attached to her miniature dachshund, Boris, and no one could believe she would abruptly disappear with no arrangements for him. But he was gone too. Days turned into weeks and suspicion grew. The story Ian offered didn't fully reassure anyone, particularly when small inconsistencies emerged about the last time he saw her. 3 months passed with no trace of the 52-year-old. Police decided to intensify their search, taking a methodical look around the property. That's when they found the unthinkable. Helen's body had been hidden in a cesspit beneath the garage, and Boris was buried with her. The discovery sent shockwaves through the community. Detectives believed that Ian had killed her, then concocted a false narrative about her vanishing on her own. A deeper investigation showed that he had been administering sleeping pills to make her more compliant and to mask his actions.
I'm arresting you on suspicion of the murder of Helen Bailey.
You're joking.
Meanwhile, Diane's family followed the news closely. The realization that Ian Stewart could kill someone he claimed to love reopened every doubt they had for the last 7 years. If Ian had lied once, could he have lied before? In Helen's case, the authorities had far more evidence, traces of the drug in her system, the newly amended will naming Ian as the beneficiary, and the shocking location where her body was hidden. In 2017, a jury found him guilty and he was sentenced to prison. Justice had been served, for Helen at least. After Ian's conviction, investigators finally took Diane's family concerns seriously. But they faced a major hurdle. She had been cremated, making a second autopsy impossible. Then they uncovered a crucial detail. Years earlier, Diane had chosen to donate her brain for epilepsy research. Her preserved tissue samples stored at a local university gave experts a rare second chance to examine the cause of her death. The findings were startling. Signs of prolonged oxygen deprivation, more consistent with asphyxiation than a sudden seizure. With this discovery, investigators re-examined the original case and found troubling inconsistencies. First responders had discovered Diane lying on her back in the garden, fully visible from inside the house, an unusual position for someone who had suffered a sudden collapse. A paramedic later recalled Ian's unsettling composure. He showed none of the exhaustion or panic typical of someone performing desperate CPR. In fact, his attempts at resuscitation struck them as cursory, if not staged.
Bone to PC with the man, the phone rang everyone. And he tried to do anything to figure around. He could set the closing.
A review of the 999 call records uncovered further discrepancies. Ian had claimed he dialed for help immediately, but timestamps suggested a delay. And there were contradictory accounts of what he was doing just prior to finding her. Was he running errands, or was he in the garden watching her hang laundry? Financial records painted an even darker picture. Shortly after Diane's death, he had collected a significant life insurance payout and drained her accounts. At the time, none of these details raised suspicion. The coroner's ruling of SUDEP shut down further inquiry, and friends who questioned it found no one willing to listen. Now, with mounting evidence, investigators could no longer ignore the truth. In both Diane's case and Helen's, Ian was the last person to see them alive. In both cases, he stood to gain financially after their deaths. Eventually, Ian was charged with Diane's murder. During the pretrial hearings, the defense sought to dismiss the new medical evidence as inconclusive, arguing that partial brain samples couldn't definitively prove a prolonged lack of oxygen. They also noted that the original coroner had found no grounds to suspect foul play in 2010. But prosecutors brought in epilepsy specialists, each explaining that a fatal seizure severe enough to kill Diane so abruptly would likely leave behind distinctive markers, none of which were found. They stressed that her epilepsy was mild and stable. While SUDEP does happen, the scenario described by Ian did not match what they'd expect to see in a genuinely fatal seizure of that nature. In building their case, prosecutors highlighted the financial motive. After Diane died, Ian received not just life insurance money but also gained access to various other assets, enabling him to purchase a new home that he later shared with Helen Bailey. Investigators argued that greed was the central driving force and that Ian had carefully staged each step to avoid suspicion. He was described as calm, even meticulous when he needed to mask his involvement. At trial, the jury heard from paramedics who recalled Ian's unsettling composure, from neighbors who mentioned his conflicting stories, and from scientists who provided a detailed interpretation of the oxygen deprivation found in Diane's brain tissue. The court also permitted limited references to Helen Bailey's case to illustrate that Ian Stewart had already been convicted of a similarly manipulative and profit-driven crime. The judge reminded the jury to weigh the facts of Diane's case on its own merits, yet the parallels were laid bare in testimony: manipulation, secrecy, and eventually murder. Despite efforts by the defense to argue that Ian had simply been a man overwhelmed by shock back in 2010, the prosecution's evidence convinced the jury otherwise. In early 2022, Ian Stewart was found guilty of Diane's murder. He received a whole life order, meaning he will never be released. The same year, the court ruled that over $220,000 be paid to her sons, Jamie and Oliver Stewart, within 6 months after Ian was found to have gained nearly $500,000 from her death. For Diane's family, the verdict provided an answer to the suspicions that had haunted them for over a decade. Although nothing could bring her back, they had confirmation that her death was not a random medical tragedy, but a deliberate act. For more True 911 calls, watch this episode next.